Okay, we're back. I don't know how to do it exactly, but okay. This is kind of a broad view of all the equipment that I took when I bike toured. I started out by going east on US 62 180 Montana Avenue. My goal was to get to my good friend, former colleague, Doug Antrim's home in Grand Falls, Texas, and I looked at the map, and the best way for me to go was to take 62180 all the way out into New Mexico and to Eunice, actually, New Mexico, which is on Route 18, and I took Route 18 south back into Texas and Grand Falls. I stayed overnighted with him a couple of nights. And then I continued south. After that, continued south from there, as far south as Panther Junction in Big Bend National Park. Oh, and then a little bit west over to Terlingus, Duty Butte, and then on to Lajitas. I did fall, and Lajitas became my turnaround point. And then I came back to Terlingus, Study Butte, and then up to Alpine, where my much better half came to pick me up because I have a lot of work to do here at home. That's part of it. Anyway, this is the equipment that I carry. It looks like quite a bit, and it is all resting on my tarp tent, the orange tarp tent, which Mina at Alterations by Mina helped construct for me. And I'm going to point out a few things here. Okay, we talked about visibility. Those are Harbor Freight, the triangular Harbor Freight lights. I have a flag. I have my emergency pole. Visibility is everything. I have my underseat steering. And of course, I have a Sun Deluxe headlamp and dynamo wheel driver. So let's take a look at some of the gear in more detail now. This is what I carry. This is in this blue sack right here. I would carry things like my electrics. See, I've got a electric battery pack to recharge everything with. I've got all the various cords, both Android and Apple or iPad. This iPhone, and I carried an Olympus camera, Olympus Tough camera, and that next to it is a little tripod. Absolutely, my passport, very important. I ended up intending to go into Mexico. Of course, my logbook, and right there is part of a retract selfie stick. I ended up not using that, and it actually, both the camera and that camera holder, the cell phone holder, will fit on this 1/4 20 stand on my bull forward part of my double vision. Okay, this is a stuff sack in which I would stuff this slumberjack. It is a pretty well insulated slumberjack. I have sewn it up, so I have to get into it like a cocoon. The zipper doesn't really work anymore. What made it even better and much warmer was that my much better half sewed in a wool blanket I had together in a mummy style. So at night I would first get myself into the wool blanket, which I then insert inside the sleeping bag, and I stayed pretty warm. Of course, I wore a lot of clothes also at night. Like I said, it's very cold. Let me talk about the clothes that I wore at night. These are my night clothes. I have my balaclava, the cold-proof long johns, my wigwam, socks, a t-shirt, a 50-50, it's 50% acrylic, 50% wool sweater. Then over that, I could put on my a very well-used down jacket. With all of that usually kept me quite warm. If I needed to be warmer, I also carried a Terramar This is quite warm. A jacket, and then of course my performance rain suit. Now it doesn't rain too much out here, but it's extremely warm because it cuts the wind. And that's what I would wear at night. And you've already seen what I wear in daytime. Now, I said I did not take my summer cycling shoes. I did wear these. These are my Cannondale full bicycling shoes. Absolutely turned out absolutely the thing for me to take when I bike toured in the winter. In the summer, I don't take those. I take my sandals. So I have a complete change. When I finish pedaling for the day, I change out of all my bicycling gear and I put on dry gear. Okay. Food. And probably the most important thing when it comes to food, maybe not food, it's water. Clean, fresh water. And I have this MSR 10-liter pack. And I carried emergency food. I would carry some of the Starbucks coffee. I'd only have a couple days worth. But I put them inside a little container to keep them from breaking against each other. So I would start out my mornings with a Starbucks, depending on where I was at. I was on this particular bike tour. I went 3 days and 2 nights without a restaurant, so I ate up my emergency food. And I could look at the map and I could kind of say, okay, there's probably a restaurant or some place to eat in this next town that I'm going to go to. I'd also buy burritos. When I was eating in a restaurant, I would buy food for later in the day. Okay. I need to note that I'm a cold camper. I do not have a stove. So I would not carry any fuel or anything like that. Okay, let's take a look at some other gear. That is my tool bag, 50 pound, about 23 kilos, full of tools. The tool bag was constructed between Mina and Javier at Texas Boot and Shoe. Very durable. And I carry all the parts that I have needed over time. Not just spare tubes. Let's hold this for a moment.